Mike McCool here in the Royal Examiner Studio, and with me today is two fine officers from the Warren County Sheriff's Office. We have Lieutenant Robbie Seal over here, our community liaison. Are you still the community liaison?
I am still the community liaison. I have a lot of titles. People call me everything.
And of course, Sergeant Terry Fritts, he's here. He's kind of the go-to admin guy. I know when they can't find anybody else to do something, it gets dumped on your desk. Is that a
story?
Good,
hopefully one day my successor to be with the community policing unit. So I'm looking. Yeah, obviously, I'm pushing that with our administration. So.
As old as he is, I'm surprised they hire the elderly.
You're gonna get a lot of comments on that from our senior citizens out there. Okay.
All right, we got a lot of stuff going on at the sheriff's office the rest of the month and next month, and of course they're coming into the studio every month, tell us what's going on. We had this. A Triad ceremony, which we'll talk about, which was originally scheduled.
Yep. So speaking of senior citizens, we have a Triad signing ceremony that is for our senior community.
Did you see how we segued that in?
That was good.
Exactly.
That was good.
And the caregivers for our senior community.
Right.
Triad's all about trying to build partnerships between the Attorney General's office, local law enforcement, and community resources. So we're hosting this Triad signing ceremony on September 29th from 10 a.m. to noon at the Government Center in the boardroom. Right. It's going to be a signing ceremony that we are going to charter an agreement between the Attorney General and the local law enforcement.
Right.
And the Attorney General himself is going to be here. This was originally scheduled for September 1st, but due to an emergency with the Attorney General, he had to cancel the date, unfortunately, so we were able to postpone it until the 29th. And then he's going to be presenting, the Attorney General himself will be presenting on scams, frauds, and opiates. So come out and see us. Space and seating is limited, so get there early to ensure seating.
All right, well, we'll be there.
All right.
We plan to be
Glad
there.
to
That's
see
right.
you there.
You need to be there.
I will be there.
Absolutely. Big event. Attorney General coming in.
And if you're looking to join our Triad chapter, we have monthly meetings. The meetings are typically, what day do you host?
Actually, the Thursday of every third week of the month. So third week of every month.
Looking for some community partners, so come out. If you offer any services to seniors and are interested in joining the program or seeing what the program has to offer, come out and see us. We'd be glad to have you.
It's great work. I know a lot of people that are on that committee, and they work hard to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Just
great.
trying to bring some services and awareness for seniors. We want to keep our senior
There's so many
population
of us.
safe.
That's the thing.
That is. There is.
We
Yes.
all will get there eventually if
Yes.
we live long enough.
We all
Some
get
of us
there.
are already there. Yes, absolutely.
All right, what's number 2 on your
Hey,
list?
I tell you, we are talking about the sheriff's office in demand. We are in demand for everything that's going on in the
That's great.
community. Of course, coming in, with Sheriff Butler coming in, everything. One of the things he focused on was building a community policing division unit, obviously to partner with our community. And I tell you what, the 2 years I've been there so far, I mean, it's just. And I'm part-time. I keep saying this. I'm just part-time. But thank goodness I got my sergeant here.
He only puts in 40 hours
with
part-time.
me because it's just taking off, folks, out there, what we're doing in the community, building these partnerships. Just recently, Monday, just got through with a Rappahannock Electric cooperative.
Right.
At last minute, last week, got a hold of us, actually emailed Terry, and Terry and I talked about it. Says, and I called the gentleman, the safety officer out there. He said, "Hey, we really would love to have you. We're having our first inaugural Safety Day program for our employees, and we'd love to have some outside vendors as well, and that deal with safety." So, he asked us if we'd participate. So I was out there, and we had more or less a station. They had it set up in stations for their employees, electrical linemen, and so forth. And my station was enacting impaired driving. We had a straight line and everything. Couldn't bring last minute notice. Couldn't bring the vehicle as far as a golf cart that we utilized when I was at the PD with National Night Out.
Right.
So we sort of just drew a line or taped the line and did the goggle bits.
Yeah,
and then
that's weird.
Yeah. Yeah. So very good. Very good program that they have out there as far as it's inaugural, obviously, but we're looking to reestablish that relationship, that partnership with Rappahannock Electrical Cooperative. Every year they have a program of whatever they need us for. So
What's really strange about those goggles, it's exactly when someone's under the influence. Oh, I can do it, right? They say the exact same thing.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can do it.
Oh, yeah.
And they can't.
Yeah. They
Everyone
do.
turns into a ballerina dancer
Isn't
using
that
their
so-
arms to balance.
It is.
Well, they do, because you talk about people really become good dancers generally, especially out there when I was doing it with with the linemen out there, having them walk without the goggles, and then afterwards, and you could just see the balance issues.
Your brain, when you're visually doing that thing, I can remember down at Epcot Center one time when they had that fly over the Grand Canyon video.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, they have you stand up. They got a railing right there, and you have to hang on to that thing because your brain says, we're
Yeah.
flying.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's the same way.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
brain, it controls our
It does.
body motion.
It does, yeah. But other than that, we actually this Sunday have, and I don't know if you've had Northwestern Communities Services on board with. They're actually, September is Suicide Prevention Awareness Month, and I actually sit on a committee involving a number of people that. We're looking to get involved with an event to get that awareness out there for Suicide Prevention Month. And so one of the things we've got set up actually for Sunday, this Sunday, September 18th, starting at 8:30, an event out there, of course, we're going to have vendor resources, a raffle, 50-50 raffle. But we're also actually going to have a organized motorcycle ride procession. We're going to have, so anyone out there that is a motorcycle enthusiast, so to speak, that wants to go on a nice ride, we're actually going to have registration set up out there at 8:30 at the Front Royal Moose is where we're going to hold it here to begin with, and the riders are going to kick their stands up. Of course, the register, I think it's $20, for a bike to register for the ride. We'll have law enforcement escorting it through town. With the assistance of Front Royal Police Department, and then they're going to get on 55 West, Highway 55 West, Strasburg Road, to head through the towns of Shenandoah County. End up in the town of Luray, where they'll have an ending event over there as well, to commemorate the event for the suicide prevention. So, looking for a real good event and put it out there to make people aware, obviously, that. That obviously suicide is, a heightened situation that we all need to be aware of. We're going to have resources out there that, that you can have, that people that visit the vendors will, that they can have access to teach you more about suicide prevention and how to prevent it, and look for the signs of depression and everything that
It's
that can
what you
contribute to
mentioned that is it's just here recently. This month, I think we've already had a couple suicides here, and it just seems during the last 2 to 3 years, maybe we've just had an increase of this, and I think a lot of it, people their lifestyle has changed.
Yeah.
And this depression is a serious.
Yeah, COVID hasn't helped with
No,
depression. It's
no.
made it worse and increased the suicides.
So we need to get out there and be a little more community. And talk to people. I mean, it's amazing what a few kind words will do to someone's state of mind.
Exactly.
And all it takes is.
Well, you mentioned that, and of course I sit as vice president of the Warren Coalition's executive committee. And of course, the coalition has to be. We see you, and part of that "We See You" program is doing that.
That's exactly all it takes is one kind word.
You see somebody and you acknowledge them, you acknowledge their existence. You say something really good or highlight their day as far as, hey, great to see you. It's good to see you. I said, hey, you just made my day.
Sure. Small gestures go a long way.
They do.
And a smile is.
Oh my gosh.
Just walking down the sidewalk and
Absolutely.
smile at people.
Absolutely.
99,000 times out of that, they will smile back even if they don't want to. It's kind of a built-in thing for it. And if you talk to people, say, hey, hello, most of them will talk back to you all of a sudden,
Absolutely.
and they'll be surprised.
Be courteous. Open the door for someone. My daughter, she's been in Atlanta. She works for the GBI down there as a latent fingerprint analyst. And when she first moved down there, she said, I don't know what's going on down here. Not saying all of Georgia, but where her experience down there at Decatur. And she says, I was used to when I grew up here in Luray, Virginia. She said, I was used to opening doors for people, or people would open doors for you. He said, they don't do that down here.
That seems kind of strange to me. Because, hi y'all, bye y'all.
Yeah. So I said, well, you were obviously trained right, young lady. So
There you go. Well,
but
we need to do a little more of those kind things. I mean,
Yes.
a little kindness goes a long way.
yes, it does.
And the best thing, it's free.
Yeah,
Kindness
it's
is free,
uncomfortable.
and it goes a
yes.
long way to
Well,
make
I
somebody's day.
always tell people, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
that's true.
Absolutely.
right.
Terry, I think Terry's going to comment on
Yes.
faith-based.
So we
Sure.
have a faith-based program that's started up. We have some training that is going to come September 19th from 6 to 9 at the Warren County Sheriff's Office in the community room. Just show up. But if you want to ensure you have a seat, contact Sergeant Voris at the Sheriff's Office. So the faith-based training is going to be safety tips that we are going to be putting out, how to keep your place of worship safe, just being very vigilant, watching out, making sure you're not a soft target, just some ideas that will help keep all of your church and your members safe while you're attending.
Yeah. Another example of our partnership with our faith-based churches out there, and it's just again part of this community policing program that we're working on.
We want to push education for people to say that if go to these trainings, learn a few tips, you're going to pick something up because nobody knows everything about
Exactly.
everything. So, and we don't know it all, but we can give you a few tips that hopefully will keep you safe. And we enjoy the partnerships.
Right.
We want everybody to come out, learn something, because if we can keep you safe, that's less calls that we're going to end up having.
Exactly.
So it's one hand wash the other.
Sure, sure.
And it's great to give back to the community too.
Right.
So if you have any other ideas for training, if any other entities want to partner with us or want to have us come out and do some sort of seminar, just let us know.
Sure.
Reach out
So
to us.
organizations can call and talk to you
Absolutely.
about setting up some sort of
Exactly.
just a meet and greet type thing. And
So I have a partnership with Weston Foods. They had contacted me. They wanted me to do a security assessment and walkthrough of their facility with fire and rescue. So we're going to be partnering with them to do a walkthrough and
Right.
give them some tips. So if any other entities want a walkthrough or a safety walkthrough, just give us a call. We'll be more than glad to come out and help you out.
speaking of that, it reminded me, Coffee with a Cop when is that happening here?
October
Actually,
5th.
yeah, it's October 5th. However,
I just seen that somewhere. Yeah.
Unfortunately, and we won't be there. You and I won't be there because we have a the state Triad conference.
ooh,
yeah,
big
in
time.
Williamsburg. That, of course, COVID prevented that from happening for
Sure.
the last 2 years. So we're looking forward to going to that one. Yeah,
We
and
talked about the coffee for
You're funny.
It's funny.
Hey, they go
I see
hand in
these
hand,
pictures-
right?
I see these pictures on Facebook of people bringing donuts over to the sheriff's office.
I mean, I'm not going to turn down a good donut.
Not
I'll
at
fit the
all.
stereotype.
No, not at all.
Good donut, good cup of coffee.
Hey, you
That's
gotta
right.
keep,
You
you gotta
made my
keep it
day.
up.
But that cup of coffee thing, the police department does it, and you guys
Yeah,
do it.
yeah,
and-
I did it when I was at the police department.
And
Really-
it's
really
kind of good just to come down to the coffee shop and sit and talk. And sometimes it's all part of this community policing. And we need to get back to that because we can remember growing up as kids that, the cops were the good guys. And it seemed like we went through a whole period of our culture where cops were the bad guys, and I think we need to get back to the other way around. All our first responders are the good guys.
Yeah.
They're there to help us.
And that's the premise of what we're doing, and at the sheriff's office and getting involved in events, other organizations, businesses,
Sure.
events is being there as a participant and meeting people, meeting the public,
Sure.
and doing exactly what you said, Mike, is let people see us
That you're
in
their
that light.
neighbor.
Exactly.
I mean, we're
Exactly.
We're human
So-
beings too.
Yeah,
yeah. Do cops make mistakes? Yeah. Everybody in this world makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect, but they need to see us as the human beings that
Sure.
we are,
Exactly.
and that we'll be there to help them.
Sure.
And we'll make the best decisions that we
Right.
can make with.
We want to run towards this problem and not away from it.
Yeah.
So we're the.
because we'll always be there to help. Every
I
call.
always thought it was funny when I was with some of my clients, and I don't want to use the lawyer word, but there's they always bashing the police at these conferences and stuff. But I tell you what. They're the first ones to call when they got a problem, and they'll admit it. He said, "Oh yeah, but they're our adversaries, but at the same time, we're going to call them first when there's a problem." So it's a love-hate relationship.
It's sort of me, and I've always used an analogy: law enforcement or law enforcement officers, like your big brother.
Right.
Really.
Yeah.
Really, because
You can't get along with
you're
them,
always
but-
looking over your shoulder and make sure big brother. I mean, big brother's not watching you, but if he is and he sees you doing something wrong,
Sure,
you got to
sure.
deal with big brother.
That's right.
So it could be a frustrating relationship,
Right.
obviously. And,
Yeah.
So that's kind of an
Yeah,
analogy
but
I
your
always
big
use.
brother sticks up for you.
That's right. That's right. And Big Brother protects you. Yeah, absolutely.
What else you got on your list?
Terry?
So we're continuing with our Reading with the Sheriff program, partnering with Samuel's Public Library. Our next Reading with the Sheriff program is going to be September 28th at 11 a.m. Samuel's Public Library and the big conference room that they have there, our activity room. We like going in there once a month to read books to the children so they have a positive relationship and encounter with law enforcement. Again, building on the partnerships and letting them know that we're here to help, but they also get to see us in a different role. We're not the super serious out there enforcing the law, writing a ticket, what people stereotype us to be. We're there reading them a story, laughing, joking, making the funny voices, getting very animated, but just an enjoyable experience.
You can do more than just says press hard. It's 5 copies, right?
I tell you what, I went to the first reading with Terry. Of course, Terry brainstormed this, and turned it into a program that we're doing at the library each month. And but I went with him, to do my reading part and everything. And I realized
Did you show he could read?
I realized I hadn't. I realized I said at the time. I said, well, after I did my reading, of course, before reading or after reading that, you had the little kids songs. The kids singing and everything. And some of these kids I had never heard before, and I'm kind of like I'm like a kid myself. I'm trying to follow along, with the choreography and everything.
Sure.
And afterwards, I made the comment. I said, "Gracious sakes, I've been out of the loop. The only one I knew was Itsy Bitsy Spider."
Oh, that's where we wish. I think I'm going to bring the camera next time. I think it'd be fun.
It's up to you.
Oh yeah, it was kind of hilarious.
But a lot of kids participate in that. And a lot of other organizations do that reading program. The library is such a great resource in our community.
Yeah,
I tell people it's more than just books.
Yeah,
and they need to check it out. It's great.
But it was fun. It was a lot of fun with those little ones. It really was.
All right, who's on the list next?
Triad.
So we've already kind of talked about the Triad thing coming up.
Oh yeah, actually,
move on.
Going down the list here, and just a couple more. Church of Skyline Festival. Before we went on air here, I was just wondering if Pastor Hammonds had contacted you. I had a meeting with them. They invited Church of Skyline invited the sheriff's office to participate in their fall festival, which is October 8th at their church, which is the exact address, Stonewall Jackson Highway. Just about 3 miles out of town south on 340. Right off 340, they're on the hill. But anyway, October 8th, they're going to have a fall festival. They had one prior to COVID, 2020. So they're resuming it this year. Obviously, a great event. Our first time we're going to be participating. As far as I'll have a table there set up with a lot of literature and everything from the sheriff's office. Fire department's been invited there as well. They're going to have wagon rides or hay rides, a lot of activities for the kids, for family. It's family oriented and everything. So we're looking forward to that. Obviously, another means of partnering with our community and getting involved with what they're doing and being a part of that. And so definitely looking forward to that. And I think they'll be contacting you as well.
He always comes in and we get together and do a little talk.
Yeah. And of course, another event we're doing actually outside of Front Row. Second year we've been invited to
the Worlds of Work. It's going to be at Shenandoah University and the Wilkins Athletic Center. They are going to be hosting what they call Worlds of Work. So it's basically a career fair for upcoming 8th to 9th graders. Just basically exploring all the careers that are out there. So we'll have a table set up. We're going to be doing some fingerprinting. We'll show off some of the police gear. Everybody likes seeing some of the vests and the gear that we have. So we'll have some of that on display and just good event.
Yeah.
Well, you better get out there because the Front Royal Police Department is paying a $2,500 sign-up bonus for a new officer. So,
are they really?
Yeah. You better. Maybe you'll go back to work for them again.
You know how long I spent with them.
I know.
And it's a great. Yeah, I had a great career with Front Royal Police Department. Really did.
So everyone's looking for
good people.
For work.
Well, I'll tell you what. Law enforcement is it's a very competitive career when it comes to. Trying to look for candidates and candidates that are already certified as law enforcement officers being recruited. So, a great
retirement program too.
Retirement through the state.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great.
So I can remember generally even with us at the sheriff's office, generally on a application process, if we're looking for people, you can have anywhere from 40 to 60 people that apply, and of course it gets weeded down through the process.
Sure. And they apply from all over the country.
They do.
Oh yeah.
And we're trying to partner with the Army Pays program to recruit veterans out of the military, so when they're being discharged, that we'll have a decent applicant pool from retired military people or recently discharged military people. I mean, law enforcement's a paramilitary career, so it's great to service our men and women from the armed services.
Yep. I just noticed that the governor just signed 100,000 veteran hired in the state under his veteran training program. So it's great. He's really pushing
That's
that.
kind of what the Army Pays program is. It's just, finding veterans jobs, and they partner with different entities to try to offer these jobs. So the county is actually looking at joining the program. The sheriff's office reached out to the Army's Pays recruiter to try to join. It takes a minimum amount of employees, but it guarantees the veteran a interview with the county. So the whole county, from my understanding, is looking at joining the program.
And they're looking for school teachers too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And there's a program for that for veterans and people in business to get them into the teaching skills. And most people retire from the military at 40 years old, or like from the police department after a big long career. They're 55 years old. There's enough time left for a completely another career.
Oh, it is. It is. Very much so.
There's a lot of these great programs out there that you can take advantage of.
It is, Mike.
And do it.
Yeah.
Well, I know we're looking for dispatchers and deputies, so if anyone's interested, put an application in. It's on our website, warrencountysheriff.org, and download the application, get it notarized, turn it into our office. We'd love to have some qualified candidates. So be the difference in your community. Join the sheriff's office.
Yeah.
If you don't like what we're doing, be the difference. Change it. Come in.
It's a lot easier to change from the inside, isn't it?
It can be. But definitely looking for some good qualified dispatchers and deputies. So I invite the public, come out, put an application in. We'd love to have you.
That's great. That's great.
We just added another title, Sergeant Fritts.
That's right.
Recruiter.
Also, I see you have down there something about Halloween.
Oh yeah, we have plenty of Halloween events.
We're
coming
actually,
up.
and just a generic comment on, we've covered, a lot of things we're doing, in the past as well as up to the middle of October, and kind of save what's coming up here, the latter part of October. Of course, Halloween is a big event, obviously every year, and right now, off the top of my head, I anticipate probably more 3 or 4 events we've been invited for. I don't know how we're going to do them all.
We'll figure it out some way.
We'll kind of address that.
The 29th is Hometown Halloween, Downtown Halloween, whatever they call it, and the Zombie Walk, all going on the same day. So I know you all compete. You always participate in that.
Yeah, we're definitely going to be a part of the Hometown Halloween.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So that'll be good, and Main Street will be closed.
Yeah.
And of course, zombies everywhere. But these are friendly zombies.
Yeah, they're friendly.
Not the Walking Dead.
No, they're not the Walking Dead. But it's friendly, and people come from around. It's a lot of fun. People get involved in it. Kids love it. A lot of kids involved in that. And then with Downtown Halloween and giving out all the candy, it's a great.
A lot of things. And of course, 27. And I'll just add on to what we're talking about. Since we're talking about Halloween, Department of Social Services, Warren County Department of Social Services, having their Jubilee event. Halloween event. Second year, I think they've had it. We missed it last year because we were doing these other events. But that's on October 27th as well. So, we'll talk a little bit more about that next time we get together.
Sure.
Well, since we've been invited to so many events, I just want to let the public know that if they want to request the sheriff's office, get your request in early. Try to give us at least 30 days if you can.
Good
so
point.
that way we can commit to your event. If not, we may not be able to make it on a 4-day notice or less. So just want to make sure we have adequate resources and the ability to.
Because we don't take deputies off of patrol.
Close enough.
Patrol.
That's good.
That's how we get a few. Anyway, patrol to go to these events. They still work. So,
well, we may be able to allocate a resource if they're on patrol. They may be able to stop by the event, do a walkthrough of the event during the course of their day. But that's going to be call depending. So if you want to ensure that you have a deputy at your event, if you need them there for a certain function, we may not be able to allocate a patrol deputy to go staff a table.
Yeah.
So if you want somebody there and you want them guaranteed there, get get a request into us early.
That's Robbie's job.
Yeah, contact Robbie or myself
Yeah.
at the Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Fritts or Lieutenant Seal, and we'll be more than glad to try to assist you with your
Well,
events.
it's great. You guys do a lot of just amazing. You don't really realize the things that goes on with the sheriff's office, and but we appreciate you coming in, telling us what's happening. We'll get all that information and stick it below the video there, so you can have the dates and the times.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you.
Again, and just kind of refresher there. But it's great.
And if you go to our social media page, the Warren County Sheriff's Office Facebook, or to our actual website, warrencountysheriff.org, most of the events will be posted there.
Yeah, we'll put links. All right. Thanks again,
Hey.
Robbie and Terry, for coming in. Appreciate it.
pleasure,
Say hi
Mike.
to Mark. And well, it's about time for him to do his little quarterly, talk. But he wants me to go over there to do it. And so that's how I.
Well,
get
he has he still comes up with some ideas, and it's never stopped since he's been in office of other programs that he wants to initiate with the or implement, I should say, with the sheriff's office for the public, and yeah, we'll have to get him to sit down here with you and
Yep, it's
and
about
come up
that
with.
time. He keeps telling me next week.
Yeah, yeah.
He's a busy guy.
He's very busy.
He's busy. That's good. We're going to get on
Yeah.
him though. We'll tell him that you tell him that we talked about.
Yeah,
him.
we will. Between the both of us, we do. Yeah, we
We'll
have
just tell
to.
him we said bad things about him, and he'll tune in and watch us to see what we said.
That's fine.
Thanks again, guys. I really appreciate
for
it.
having us,
Keep
Mike.
up the good work. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.